And for tonight's starting lineup, in goal, I am reluctant to say that I am your American Rhino because we have two very special, true American hockey players. But I am number 35, Gary McComiskey, and accompanying me tonight on this journey,
number 4, and I say this very loosely, on defense, James Sajazi, and for our two very special guests,
number 13, left wing, Cherie Stewart.
And number 2, defense, Amber Moore.
Hi.
Thank you both so much for joining us on the podcast. I think James and I are both a little starstruck here because to have two women who are truly representing our country in a sport that we both love so much is really, it's a true honor for both of us. So thank you so much for putting aside time in your no doubt busy schedules, and especially to Amber, who really had to kind of, hockey up and press to get through to us tonight to do this. We really appreciate you both coming on so very much.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, really, literally, it's our pleasure. So we'll just jump right into it. So Cherie and Amber, Gary and I learned that you are both originally from California. Cherie, you're from Southern California, and Amber from Northern California. Did the two of you have trouble seeking out deck or ball hockey as you grew up in the Golden State?
To be honest, I never knew about deck hockey until I moved to Houston. This has been maybe a 3-year journey, 4-year journey for me, so it's been fairly recent in my hockey career. I didn't know anything about deck hockey in California.
Yeah, similarly to Cherie, I grew up playing roller hockey, but mostly ice hockey, and I didn't know about ball hockey at all until Cherie introduced me to it a little bit less than 2 years ago.
Sorry, James. I haven't, I don't think I've ever even been to California. Although I did go to college with a girl who was from California, and she hated the weather here. But that's neither here nor there. But so you said you both have experience with roller hockey. I guess rollerblading is a real thing out there. Yeah, I mean, I know I sound like a yokel kind of saying that. You do the rollerblading, but is that like just kind of in terms of recreational hockey, is roller hockey more prevalent than ice hockey or ball hockey out there?
Amber, do you want to go for NorCal?
Well, no, I mean, I definitely think like Cherie has more experience with roller hockey than I do. I would just like play in the street growing up. And I definitely think after the Sharks started doing well that ice hockey exploded more in Northern California. But I feel sure you want to talk to the Southern California roller hockey experience.
For me, roller hockey was life.
Cherie played like for NARC or like in high level roller hockey growing up.
Yeah, that's what I did. In my early hockey career, I played roller hockey. My brother started playing roller hockey, so as like, his little sister, I wanted to do what he did, and that's how I started roller hockey, and that's how I got into ice hockey, actually. I got recruited.
Okay, so question number 2. The both of you went to colleges with excellent ice hockey programs for women. Amber with Cornell and Cherie with Manhattanville. So this is a 2-part question, ladies. Part A is, how did the two of you end up on the other side of the country playing ice? And B, did you each progress, which Cherie was trying to answer that question in the first part, but so you kind of went back to deck instead of traditionally starting off from playing ball hockey to then roller hockey to then ice hockey. So again, question number 1 is, how did you end up on the other side of the country playing ice? And if you wouldn't mind just kind of going over the progression or regression, if you will, of roller to ice to deck.
Okay, so I started playing hockey when I was in like 4th grade because my stepbrother played, and similarly to Cherie, I like wanted to do everything that he was doing. And I come from a large family of 7, and all of us played ice hockey. So we had our own little team. My brother played goalie. And then in about like 8th grade, something clicked where I was just getting really competitive, and I really wanted to play in college. And so I told my mom that I was going to play D1 hockey, and she looked at me like I was crazy growing up in the Bay Area. And she was like, okay, Amber, sure, whatever. But then my junior year, I got recruited to play in college, and I ended up going to Cornell because as far as like academics and hockey, it was the best fit. And then, like I said earlier, I didn't start playing deck hockey until years later, but met Cherie playing ice hockey, and then she had played on the U.S. team previously for ball hockey and brought me to training camp one summer and got me hooked up playing in the city, just in a street hockey league in Tompkins Square Park. And the rest is history, hockey history.
Awesome.
The hockey league in Tompkins Square, is that BTSH?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
For me, I played for Team California, and we traveled to the East Coast to do, regional tournaments, and I got scouted to play in prep school in Vermont. And then from Vermont, I got recruited to play in college, and, Manhattanville was the right fit for me. My brother had a lot to do with that decision, and I really liked the campus, so it worked out fairly well for me. So that's how I got to Manhattanville. There you go.
Excellent. Very good.
I mean, it sounds like it did work out pretty well for you because you both wound up playing for the first season of the Riveters in the inaugural season of the NWHL, and that's pretty awesome. So it sounds like you met when you were playing on that team. Is that correct, or do I have it all wrong?
I actually met Amber. I had to pick her up, and I didn't know who she was. We were carpooling to Lake Placid. We both live in Brooklyn, and we were going to play the Empire State Games for the New York City team. And, with a 6-hour road trip, got to know her fairly well. We didn't think she was crazy. She was actually really awesome. So, yeah, we're still teammates.
That was the USA Ice team?
I took a New York City team. There's
New York City team, I'm sorry. Okay, awesome. And then you wound up, how did you wind up on the Riveters?
Yeah, so on the team that we played on for Empire State Games, the New York City team, Danny Ryland also played, the commissioner of the league.
Okay.
And so after the season was over, she had asked Cherie and I both to try out, and we went out to the tryout in Long Island. And then when the opportunity came up, they needed more players for the roster. And so we both committed to being practice players and ended up getting to see some ice time because of injuries and weird visa issues. But it was great. It was a really, really exciting experience and definitely an amazing opportunity to be a part of something much larger than just our immediate New York City hockey team and hockey community.
Yeah, we've talked about the Riveters and the league as a whole on the podcast before, and it really is awesome. So congratulations to both of you for making it to that level, because that is really cool. And before we move on, I realized I forgot to ask, how did you do in Lake Placid?
Oh, we won, and everyone was so angry. Not our team, but normally New York. I think historically, Cherie had said New York City had never really done that well, and we came in, we showed up late to the first game, and went in and destroyed the other team. It was a really good time. One of the girls on the team has a cabin up there who also played on the Riveters, Margot.
Okay.
And so all of us hung out for the weekend, and we ended up winning the ship. And I think they won the year after too. And then Cherie got everyone in the NWHL kicked out. No, I'm just kidding. She just went and played in the tournament, and some woman complained that they had professional players playing, which is funny at this point because it's just where else are we supposed to play?
Right.
Why? And now there's a giant red warning on the Empire State Games site that says no past NWHL players. So we're banned from beer league. But
well, I'm sorry to hear that, but that is awesome that you won. So, rock on. Congratulations on that too. That's
odd to be too good to participate. So I don't know whether to congratulate you or feel bad for you. So.
It really.
Yeah, there was a lot of good girls in too. So.
Well, hey, if you're ever down and, after you're done with the tournament and stuff like that, if you're not busy with Mafo or something, you're more than welcome to play on our team or league anytime. So
you're too good for it. So,
well,
you'd make us all look silly.
No.
Yeah.
But anyway, no.
No, Gary, she'd be on our team.
Yeah. yeah.
Anyway, okay, so moving on to question number 4. So, yeah, that's really fascinating and awesome with the Riveters story. So, in order to become members of the U.S. women's national ball hockey team, did you have to join certain ball hockey leagues to be able to get a shot? And or is this where the American Street Hockey Institute came in?
For me, I just, played locally at the BTSH and MAFO. And then from there was a beer league in Maryland. And Jason Kelly, who I believe is the GM for the national teams, both men and female, he saw me and he just asked me, he's like, hey, would you be interested to come and try out? So from there, I just, gained some relationships with the program and made the team. And then for this new team that we're playing in the Czech, I, talked to Jason and thought that Amber would be a high valued player for our team. And so she got to try out and thankfully made it. So yeah, she's there too.
So did you believe this guy? I mean, was this something that you knew about? Because this is really fascinating that there's deck hockey international competition. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
No, they're pretty diehard, and Jason was really excited to talk about it in the competition. So there is no doubt. But actually going there and seeing how big deck hockey is internationally, though, that's quite a trip to see it. It was really awesome to see.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny the first time I met Cherie when we were driving to Empire State Games in the car, I remember her and Steph talking for like 2 hours, I feel, about like BTSH and ball hockey. And the entire time I legitimately thought that they were talking about broom ball. And I was like, how are you guys so into broom ball? Like, why? You're just running on the ice. Like, this seems so silly. And then I figured out that like deck hockey is a thing and ball hockey is a thing. And then luckily had the opportunity to try out. But yeah, I'm really excited to go abroad. And it's also been really cool to go to tournaments in Canada and see how big it is, even just in Canada, and how talented so many of the girls are. And it's also just such a very similar game to ice hockey, but at the same time, there are aspects that are very different, which is interesting to get to develop like a new skill set, and also one that's like super accessible. Like you can just go outside and like play and like get better. And it's not like ice hockey where you have to have ice and equipment and everything else.
Yeah, good point. Right. Cool. So with the ball hockey, you ladies, do you have to exclusively play ball hockey now, or does the ASHI allow you to still play ice and or roller?
Well, other than Cherie getting kicked out of Empires, no, we still play ice hockey. We play on the same like beer league ice hockey team at Chelsea Piers on Friday, and we play MAFO and BTSH and just whatever hockey we can get our hands on to keep playing and training and getting ready for next week.
Excellent.
Awesome.
We do what we want.
Great.
do what we want. We're independent.
I think whatever we do to gain an edge, whether it's ice hockey or ball hockey, whatever, like going to the gym, as long as we just don't get injured before the tournament, I think they're all green light for us. So
they think of it all as training.
Right, cool.
What's sorry?
I said they think of it all as training, the kind of the practice that you get outside.
Mental, physical, everything. I mean, coaches have been top notch, helping us, talking to us, and communicating to get our mindset prepared.
Breaking down the NHL playoffs.
Sure.
Yeah, it's funny because she was talking about a series that I just did not want to hear about.
Literally, we got a rundown of the Penn Senator series, like paragraph by paragraph. Like every game, our coach wrote like 3 paragraphs talking specifically about like communication between like coaches and players, which is very important. But she's also like a diehard Penguins fan, and so it's all like very like through the lens of a Penguins fan. So they're ready. We're ready. It's gonna be great.
Cool.
James,
do you guys know who won the series?
It's playing right now.
Yeah, they're playing right now. Yeah.
I refuse to watch NHL right now, so I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm with you, Cherie.
Yeah. James and I were talking with Cherie earlier about, we were commiserating because James and I are huge Ranger fans, and Cherie was telling us that she's a big Ducks fan. So,
oh my gosh, yeah, the Ducks played so well.
Both of our teams
I honestly feel like now I have to go for the Predators just because I don't want the Senator. I'm done with Pittsburgh. Forget Canada. I'm like, at least the Predator Duck series was so good that I'm like, well, at least maybe we'll just have like the victor of that series go on. But,
cheers. Here's to Nashville.
Yeah. Ugh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like. All right, that's good. That's good.
So Amber, are you a Sharks fan?
I'm a Sharks fan, but I'm not going to lie to you, and Cherie will call me out on it in like 5 seconds. I'm definitely a horrible NHL fan. Like, I care when I have time, which is hardly ever, and then if I have time, I'll like watch games. But other than that, I couldn't tell you 10 people on the Sharks.
Neither could I, so that's fine.
All right.
Hey, you were telling us about how your coaches are breaking down the series. How often do you practice?
We actually, we go to camps, but we only had like maybe 3 camps a year, and pretty much it.
And some tournaments.
Yeah. And we'll see each other in tournaments. We play against our teammates.
Oh, yeah. It'll be crazy because when we go to the Czech, I think it'll be like one of the first times that our entire team has played together, because when we go to camps, they'll split us up and we'll like play each other. And so there'll be like the last camp that we played in like a mini tournament, and there were 4 teams, but 2 of the teams were Team USA split up.
Okay.
And so I'm always like, oh my gosh, they're so good. And I'm like, oh, but they're on my team.
But
so like when
us.
we go to the Czech, we're going to be so good because everyone's amazing.
So where do you play these tournaments?
Most of them in Boston. Oh, sorry. Go for it, Cherie.
In Drake, Mass, like right outside of Boston.
Is ball hockey big in Boston?
I think so. What do you think?
I would say, yeah, bigger than it is here. They have like a pretty consistent, some of the girls on the team started like a women's scrimmage every Saturday. And so they have like a pretty good system going on with like 4 different teams that play each other every week for 2 hours. It seems like a little bit bigger than it is here. I feel like it's also bigger a little bit farther south. Like DC has a big, pretty well-established program. Philly has like a pretty well-established program with like the Red Foxes or whatever. Or is Red Foxes Philly? I don't even know. There's like a couple of teams that are like actually teams that like practice all the time.
All right.
That's not us though. Okay.
Yeah, that's not us. We also have people from all over. Like we have a lot of girls from the Northeast, but some girls from like Iowa and like Chicago, and yeah, so people are traveling. Canada, we have some from Canada. She snuck in.
Full citizenship.
Yeah, little dual citizenship action.
Little Brett Hull type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's really good too. Good for us.
Yeah, she's
yeah,
awesome.
great.
She played at Dartmouth.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of girls who played D1. A couple girls who played at Dartmouth, and like Paige played on the Buttes. She played on the Buffalo team, but
Nice.
it's a good crew. A lot of girls. It's interesting too because a lot of girls played like field hockey as well. There's like a fair number of like Leanne is like definitely the fastest person I've ever seen, and she played field hockey in college. She go to BU? Northeastern, yeah.
So when you guys were talking about the practices and the scrimmages and things like that on the website, is that why a lot of your, like you and Amber are on the right side of the website, it says there's a tournament team. So it says that you're on Slayer, and then there's Mid-Atlantic Shot Blocks and Stanley Cupcakes and stuff like that. Is that the different teams that you guys scrimmaged against for the Team USA? Is that what those teams are?
Yeah, just the teams that we go to these tournaments, and we'll play for the local Slayer. They're from the city, and they usually pick out some people from other places to win. Yeah, and there's like the Shot Block, I believe in DC, Mid-Atlantic.
Yeah, and then Slayer is a team. It's like a combo team of like girls from or women from BTSH and just like other ones from the city. And Cherie and I played on that team in December, and then for a spring tournament. But they're just like tournament teams.
Okay, cool.
All right. Well, so you know what? Let's get into the meat of why we're all here. This tournament that you guys are representing the country in. So if you don't mind, can you tell us what the format of this tournament is, how it works, what we can expect over there?
All right. So the teams competing for the women: Team Italy, Slovakia, Canada, Czech Republic, UK, and USA. The venue is at the Tip Sport Arena, where we will play the Czech Republic, UK, and Canada. I'm assuming it's a bigger arena because it says we play Italy and Slovakia on a smaller arena with smaller seats for small people.
Is the deck?
First game?
Sorry to interrupt. Is the decked surface the rink size uniform, and it's just the building that's smaller, or is it a smaller rink that you're playing on as well?
I'm thinking that it's just the building that's smaller. Okay. The rink is huge though. Like it's the background of my phone right now because I'm like trying to, just final days, like push through, motivate myself. I'm like, this rink is ginormous and really scary that we're going to be running all over it because it's much larger than anything we play on in the States or in Canada.
Okay. All right.
Our first game is June 3rd versus Italy at 12 p.m., 6 a.m. on the East Coast, so you can wake up bright and early. Czech Republic is 6 hours ahead for New York City. The games will be live streamed at Paradebois I don't know if I said that right, 2017.com. And you can keep up to date on the Twitter at ASHI_WNT and on Instagram.
All right. And we will put up links to those things on our Facebook page so you can follow along at home.
And we appreciate that. Very, very cool. So best of luck, ladies. Hope you have a lot of fun. Hope you play well. And thank you so much for joining us on this edition of Hit the Deck, Amber and Cherie. Special thank you to your media coordinator, Jackie Spiegel, for arranging this great interview too. Again, best of luck to you and Team USA. And please come back and tell us all about how it went. We'd love to know your experiences, how the Czech Republic was, and even the hotel where you stayed. And just exactly right, what the surface was like and the arenas were like and the whole experience. So if you wouldn't mind coming back on in the future and filling us all in, as we will listen and follow along during the tournament, please come back and let us know how it went.
Yeah, and God willing, when you come back, you'll be weighed down with a little bit of gold around your neck.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Thank you so much for having us. Next time, we'll make sure our technology coordinator gets in touch with both of us beforehand so that we have beautiful streaming audio and visual.
No, it was great. Thank you so much again for your time, and go get them.
Have a good one. Good night.